No video announcements today because I have a couple really exciting and important announcements to talk to you a little bit before we get into today's message. And the first one has to do with, involves our church app and an online church directory. Now, many of you have asked for quite a while if we could have a church directory because a lot of people don't know a lot of people, and I know you want to know people, and I love how this church is becoming a family of believers, but it is hard to get to know people because there's so many here on Sunday and Wednesday nights, and sometimes you're a little apprehensive of asking somebody their name. But if you could look on a directory and see who they are, you could familiarize yourself with them. Maybe you want to just send them a greeting or something. So I'm excited to announce that we have an online directory up and going, and there are 3 families on it. These are the guinea pig families right here. So there's the Manuel household, the Cooley household, and the Achaka household. And you're wondering, I never knew how to spell Achaka. Now you know how to spell it. And they'll probably, for most of the time, they'll probably be at the beginning of the directory. Unless the aardvarks move in, then they'll be second. But Achakas will always, you'll reign as supreme probably for a while. So this is what the directory looks like on your phone. Now, I know some of you are like, I don't use my phone, I'm not a computer person. What about the printed directory? We don't have one. And I don't know that we'll have one because maybe we can print off this, we'll see. The problem with the printed directory, as soon as you print it, it's out of date. And the nice thing about the online directory is that it's always up to date. But here's what I'm excited about and why I think you'll feel safe and secure in being a part of this. To view the directory, 2 things. You have to be a part of this church that gathers here, and you have to be in the directory yourself. No creepers allowed. All right? So if you want to see the online directory, you have to be on the online directory. And there's no way that this information can go outside of that. It can't be shared. Nobody else has access to it. We're not going to give anybody outside of the local church here access. And I know we have lots of online viewers, and we love and appreciate you. And I'm not saying never, never, because we have some online viewers that kind of really feel like a part of our family. Like the Loverwinks in Minnesota, and they were a part of us here, and Sharon Davis up in the Yukon is with us almost every week, and Jennifer Weirley over at Winifred's with us, and we'll see about that. But we know them, and but you can be really confident that if you're in the directory, nobody's going to be sharing your stuff out of there. So do the next slide. So that's the household. You see the house in the upper right. If you clicked on the individuals, so this is the Manuel household, but the individuals, it shows birth day, not date, all right? But we would love to know your birthday, because I would like to acknowledge it and give you a call or a text or something. Other people would like to do that. Our anniversary is on there, June 6th. It's going to be 40 years in June. I just thought about that. Oh, we have a 40-year anniversary coming up. Yay. Thank you, Donna, for your grinding it out with me. So that's what the individual pages look like, and your kids are on there. So what's really helpful too is when you're in the directory and kind of in our database, and why we really want you to put your birthday in there, and especially your kids and their birth date, which does not show up on here, the date, because then we can look at okay, how many 5th graders do we have that are going to be 6th graders next year, and that we can prepare our junior high youth group for them. So, and all this information you can enter. Now, some of it's already entered on your behalf in our database, but you need to go on and say, I'll be part of the online directory. I'm going to send you an invitation tonight or tomorrow morning. Email. All right? Now, some of you are like, I don't do email. Well, then you're going to miss it. I don't know what else to tell you, because that's how most people communicate. Even still, email works because it's secure, it's private. And so if you don't check your email, check it tomorrow, and you'll have an invitation from me or New Life Church or one of the two of us. It will look, next slide, I think this is what it'll look like. On your phone, this is what it will look like. You were invited to join our directory. And it even personalizes, this is the one I got. Hello, Mike. Well, hi. And down at the bottom it says join directory, and you'll do that. And so you're given the directory permission to put your stuff in, and then you can enter your address, your birthdays, your anniversaries, your kids. I'm really encouraging you to do this. I'm really encouraging you to be a part of this so that we can get to know each other and be a family. And I know before you get out of the car on Sunday morning, like, or you'll see somebody in the lobby, then just go into the bathroom and like, come out and say, well, hi, Veronica. Like, she knew my name. Yeah, it's such a friendly church. We cheat. But no, this is going to be such a good thing. And I understand if you do not want to be a part of it, we're not obligating you to it, but I'm strongly encouraging you to be a part of it because it's secure. Nobody's going to see it, and we want to get to know each other. And when new people come in, we'll invite them right away. So new people will start showing up on there. And so when you start seeing new faces, you can look like, oh, that's who that is. So anyway, so that's our directory. And how do you find our directory? Good question. On our new church app. So there's what our church app looked like Friday. It looks way different now because there's a lot more stuff on it. I've been busy this weekend. So we have a church app that has, you can view sermons, you can put in prayer requests, connection card, you can give online, you can look at the sermon notes. The sermon notes are there, even for today's message. They're also on our website too. But this is where you view our online directory. So that's what the church app looks like. So when you go to the like App Store or Google Play, what do they call it? Google Play or App Store. Next slide. This is what it looks like on the App Store if you're an iPhone person, for all you true believers out there, right? Sorry. So anyway, so that's what you're looking for, Church Center app, and the information's in your bulletin today. So you're looking for Church Center. If you go to and you can do it right now. It's because using your mobile devices in church is totally acceptable as long as it's not like ringing and stuff. If you don't know how to turn that off, like I always say, give it to the youngest kid in your row and tell them to silence it. Also, if you don't know how to get an app on your phone, hand it to the youngest person in your row and say, put that app on my phone, and they'll have it on there like in 17 seconds. So, but when you go to the church app, the Church Center app, it's going to say, can we use your location to find your church? Say yes. We're not tracking you. This is a good, credible, secure app. And our church will show up. I think it was NewLife Fairfield. I think Set Free in Great Falls shows up, and a few Great Falls and area churches show up. But it's obvious, and choose that as your church. And as soon as you choose that, you're in. So it'll probably make you use your 10-digit phone number as your username, probably. It might send you a code, but it's very secure. And once you get on that app, you're gonna see the online directory. You can watch past sermons. Pretty soon, we're going to be broadcasting live on our app. So if you're not here, you can watch a live service right from your app. So we're doing lots of things there. So take a look at that. I don't remember what the next slide is. Put it up there and jog my memory. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. So church app, go to the App Store, download that today, tomorrow, or tonight, or sometime in the next 24 hours. I'm going to send you an invitation via email to be a part of that. Say yes and put in your information, and let's start seeing. Oh, the other thing that Veronica and I were practicing, there's a chat feature on the app, because a lot of people aren't on Facebook, and a lot of people are leaving Facebook, and the chat feature there is just people in our church. It's not, in fact, I think you have to be in the directory to chat, I think, or at least on People. But anyway, if you want to visit, chat, put prayer requests up there, but not have it go out to the world, that's a good place to do it. So lots of features there. So do that. Okay. Everybody good on that one? Okay. Next subject. We have an urgent need in India. And you know, I think you know, any of you that have been coming any amount of time, I don't usually come up here and start asking for money. But today I am. And I'll tell you why. I think most of you know, but I'll remind you, we have 20 pastors we support in India that we fully support out of this church and out of Shoto. We pay their living compensation so they can be a full-time pastor. 20 pastors out of this church, plus Pastor Joseph. And we pay for all his expenses. And they're doing great, but the persecution in India it's getting worse and worse by the day. And they're shutting down churches. Of course, the whole COVID thing had things shut down, but they're coming back now. In India, if you're in a rented facility or just out in the open, they'll come and chase you out. Like, you cannot meet here. They do, for whatever reason, thankfully, respect property that the church owns. If you have the correct paperwork, and by the way, Joseph does that, he's like 4 months away from being a lawyer. We've sent him to law school. We sent him to law school. You didn't know that, maybe. He's been doing law school the last 3 years because he already had a master's degree. He's going to be a lawyer, not to practice law, but to defend Christianity in India. And so his paperwork is right, and he knows how to do it. So our churches all have that we've built 5 or 6. You've built 5 or 6 in India for them. We have all the right paperwork, and they can meet securely there. And they can't, at least till now, can't do anything about it. So, but the churches that are in rented facilities or meeting out in open air, they're not able to meet. And we have a church. This church I was at my last trip to India, which was December of 2018. So this picture's from there in Erode, that's it, Erode, E-R-O-D-E, in India, Tamil Nadu, Bay of Bengal. That's the area where we serve. This is Pastor Anbu's church. He's a great pastor. They're all great pastors. He's amazing. And he's got a church that about 85 people, 85 adults come, plus kids. There's a lot of, this is the service I was there in December of 2018, and you can see it's packed out. And then you probably can't see it. Oh yeah, you can see a white bald head right in the middle there. Guess who that is? And then Pastor Anbu is to my right, your left, in the white in the back there. But a great church. They're seeing miracles. People are getting healed and saved and delivered and discipled. It's just a really great church. And they're in a rented facility that today is their last day there. They're getting kicked out. Well, today is tonight in India, so they've already had their last service. So next Sunday, they're out on the street, but they can't meet anywhere. They can't meet in rented places because nobody will rent to them. They can't meet in homes. They're too big, and even if they meet in homes, the other homeowners get mad and come kick them out. They literally have no place to meet. We can buy land for this church, a nice piece of land for $17,000, and we can build a church on it, a simple one, for $8,000. So for $25,000, we can buy land and build a church. And it's more expensive here because this is a little more, it's a bigger area, it's a bigger city. In the villages, it's less than half of that, or about half of that, to buy the land and build a church. But this is our most critical need because this is a big church who's really been flourishing and growing, and now they have no place to meet. And so I just let's put it out to y'all, and let's see what God does. I'm going to go on Facebook Live tonight, I think, on our NewLife India channel and talk to our followers there and put that out to them. But I'm putting it out to you. I know there's probably 10 people who give $2,500 and it'd be done. Or there's 25 people who give $1,000 and be done, or 50 people that give 500. And like, man, that's a lot of money. I know it is. And maybe you can't do that, but maybe you can. I'm just saying, if God moves on your heart and you could give, it's kind of an urgent need. I'd like to get this done by the end of March. If we could get this raised in the next couple of weeks between you and people out in social media and the folks in Shoto or whatever, if we can get this raised, and I know we can. Like I said, I know the money's there. It's just in your checkbook right now. So I don't want to coerce you. I don't want you to feel obligated. I don't want you to feel like if you can't give 500 or 1,000, you can't give. If you can give $25, give it. But the reality is, $25 at a time is not going to get us there anytime soon. That would take us like 25,000 of those. So I'm not saying that it's not valued. It is. And your prayers are valued. But if you could do that, if you could write a check and just put India Building or India Construction or India Church or whatever, so we can differentiate that from the pastors because we still support the pastors. Online giving on our website, there's a pull down that says India Church Construction. You can go to newlifeindia.org and give there. And but 100% of it, 100% goes to India, and 100% will go to Pastor Ambu to build that church. And so I just want you to know there's nothing administratively taken out of there. And I just think it's a really important thing to get these people back to worshiping. Could you imagine us not being able to worship? Not because of COVID or anything like that, but because there's no place and nobody will allow us a place to meet. That would stink. And so we want to help them out. So if you could do that, that would be awesome. So thank you. And if you have any questions about that, please don't hesitate to ask.